Hi guys, welcome to Elm Colors. I'm Erica, and on today's video I am going to be doing a color along in a mythographic book. And I kind of wanted to show you a little bit of my process. I have all of these pages flagged that I really wanted to do. Lots of really fun ones, but I didn't end up going with any of these. This is the one I started in the previous mythographic video. So if you've seen that, if you've not seen that, I'll link it in the up at in the card at the top of the screen here. So lots of ones that I really do want to color and that I like, but I ended up going with a page out of Paradise instead, and I decided to go with this elephant. And I think this is going to be really fun. It's going to be for a couple of color alongs this month. I think there's an Animals in April color along, and I think there's also like a Castle color along. So we're going to attempt to do this one. I wanted to show you the beforehand so that you could see where all of the hidden objects were. And then kind of, I'm going to go white everything out off camera, and then we'll come back and I'll show you all the objects whited out before I start to color. And then I'll color some of it in real time and some of it sped up, and possibly some off camera, but I think I'm going to try to get most of it on camera. So let's talk about these hidden objects. I'm a little grumpy. I'm going to move the book a little closer to the camera here. So this one just makes me mad. There's the drum, a coconut cup, there's a key, a sword, a witch's hat, some kind of bag of stuff. I think that's a spear, a magic wand, a beaker, a honey thing. Are those face wipes? I don't know what that is. Tissues? So frustrating. There's a nut in the middle of the thing. There's a pickaxe, a fork and a knife. I don't know what that is, but I think that's a hidden object, and a ring here. So I'm going to go through and white all that stuff out and go ahead and draw in my lines like I did on the previous video. And then when you see me again, I will start coloring stuff. All right, I'll see you in a second. Okay, I got the images all whited out. I used two different Poscas. I started out using this Posca, which is the 0.77, nope, wrong. I used this Posca first, which has got the broader tip. And it wasn't covering as much as I liked, so I went back in with my skinny Posca, the skinny tip. And that one's 0.7 millimeters. And then I went over all of the whited out lines that I could see. I think I got them all, but I used a few different pens. I used the Staedtler 0.2 and 0.05 and my Pigma Micron 01. And those are all pretty thin tips, so you're able to get into some of the really detailed areas. So let me show you some of the work that I did. And I'm guessing you'll probably still be able to see some of the whited out images, but then I've gone over top of it with the black pens to kind of fill in the lines that I had whited out. So I am going to select my colors now, and then we'll get started. I think I'm going to try to use a mixture of pencils and markers. And I might grab a couple of alcohol markers as well, just to see how it works going over the white. So let me grab my colors, and then I will see you again in a second. Okay, so I've got some markers and pencils picked out, and I am using a color palette that I will put up on the screen right now so you can kind of see where I got my inspiration from. And this Instagram account, which I can't remember off the top of my head right now, they always put out a few different color schemes each month, and this month I thought I'd try one of those. So let's start with something easy. I'm going to start with the elephant, and I'm just going to use some alcohol markers as a base. I'm going to start with my lightest color and see how I like it. I'm using these markers from Artify. And this one is, you can't really see it. Here, we'll do this way. This one is Warm Gray 0.5. And these are chisel and bullet, I think, tip. So I'm going to start, actually, I'm just going to test out a little area first to see how I like it. To see if I like this color, first of all. And I know colors always start out a little darker. That seems a little light to me, but let's see, what do we think? Is that a little too light? Let's go in with a little bit of the next darkest color, which would be the Warm Gray 1. I'm just going to add that right to a couple certain areas. Come back in with my light again and see if I like the way that looks. He's looking a little brown, isn't he? But it looks pretty gray on camera. In real life, this is a little more brown. You know what? I'm just going to go with it. He's going to be a browner elephant. I think. Okay. And also, these colors are so close that you can't hardly see any of the shading. So I'm not going to do any shading with this. I think I'm just going to go through with the Warm Gray 1. And I'm going to color the face, the trunk, the legs, and probably like around the ears here, and then the mountains in the background. I think I'm going to work on those ones. And I'm going to speed that up so you guys can see what I've done, and I will talk to you again in a second. Okay, my plan hit a little snag because this little dude down here does not want to be colored over with alcohol markers, which is going to cause an issue up here and here and here and here. So let me see if, you know what, I've already started. I'm going to have to just keep going, aren't I? Maybe if I just do the legs with this color, then it won't, then I can use pencil on the rest of it, and hopefully that will work. So I'm going to finish coloring the legs, and then we'll go from there. Okay, I grabbed a couple of Black Widow pencils in my warmer grays. So I'm going to try to color right over top of this and see how that looks, and see if I can recreate that look on the rest of the elephant. So basically I'm just going to go through with some of the shade or shadows and some of the shadows and add that color in, and I will speed that up so you guys can see how I do that. Okay, so I've gone over this part and I think it looks okay so far. I'm going to try to recreate this kind of color here with this gray from the original Black Widow set. I have deemed it Gray Owl, but it doesn't actually have a name because I got these pencils so long ago they didn't have names. So I'm going to do a light base coat, base layer, because with Black Widow pencils, they tend to blend better when you have a layer of color to work on. And I did forget a little bit of a black line there, so let me grab my marker for that. I'm gonna grab my 2.0 liner. Just kind of continue that line. There we go. Okay, so again, just a light base layer, make sure everything's covered. And then I'm going to use those same colors. So I've got coal, charcoal, and shadow. So I'm going to start with my charcoal and then use the shadow to blend everything out and come back in and add in my really dark shadows with the coal. I think this is going to work actually. Well, glad to know I didn't completely mess it up. I should have known that the alcohol markers would not have worked over top of the Posca. I should have known that. But it was worth trying and seeing if it would. And I wonder if water-based markers would do the same thing. I might try one of those here in a minute. Okay, and a little bit of coal in here to really darken those shadows in. Okay, and there's a little bit more shadow needs to be put in right here actually, because this is behind the other part. I'm going to blend that out a little bit with the charcoal. And again, all of those areas that were super dark. And then one more time with the shadow. Yeah, I think that works. Brush away some of that dust. I think that works. Well, that makes me happy. Yeah, so I think I'm just going to continue on with this side and the face and the, like I said, the base around the bottom of the ears, and then the mountain parts that kind of stick out here and there. I'm going to go ahead and color those with those same colors. And I will let you guys watch that as I do it. Okay, so I'm going to color the rest of his trunk and the ears. I'm going to color that off camera so that you don't have to watch all of that. And then we will start on something else. But I'm basically going to do the same thing that I did. I've already got my light coating of my gray owl color, or the original Black Widow gray. And then I'm going to add in a layer of charcoal on the shadows. And I'll go through with shadow and blend that out a little bit, going with coal, darken everything up, charcoal to blend that out a little bit, and shadow at the end to blend everything out again. But I think he's looking pretty cool so far. So, and you can see right up here, I hope that you can see that pretty well, there was a tea bag right there, and it's pretty much gone. So, I'm liking how that's looking. I'm hoping that I can maybe white this out a little bit more when I go to do the tusks. But so far, this whole coconut drink is going to disappear. The key that was down at the bottom here, that's pretty much gone. So, liking this so far. And when you see this again, all the elephant will be done. Okay, so here's my elephant all done. I think he turned out, I guess he's a he. I'm saying he's a he. Maybe I'll make him a she, give him some eyelashes. Anyway, totally just ignore everything I just said. I think that I'm going to show you a few of the flowers along the side here, and then I will do the rest of all of that off camera. And then I probably am going to have to split this up into a couple videos. So the next time we'll work on some other stuff, maybe the grass, the background, and these castles. So let me show you the colors that I've picked out for the flowers, and what my plan is for each of the types that are on here, and the vines that are scrolling around. Okay, so the colors that I have, so we've got in that color palette that I showed earlier, I'll show it again. In the color palette, you've got like this really pretty deep, dark turquoisey green. And these two colors out of the Spectrum Noir color blend set that I have, I think those will work for that. So I'm going to use that for all of the vine parts and most of the leaves. I'll probably bring in another green just to play with those leaves. And then I'm going to also try to use some Crayola pencils. I kind of want to throw every kind of pencil at these books to see what happens. I also have a really old Prang one in here too, but the colors for Crayola, I've got a Harvest Gold, this Prang Golden Yellow, and an Unmellow Yellow from Crayola. So I'm going to try to use that on some of the flowers. And then I've also got several different shades of orange tones from the Black Widow sets, all from different sets. I think I've got one from each set in here. No, I'm missing one of them, out of Scorpions, I think. So I've got this Rattlesnake color from the Cobra set, Carrot and Sherbet from the Skin Light set, this peachy color from the original Black Widow set, and Candy from Monarch. So I'm going to try to use different orange tones for some of these flowers in here. And then for the blue color that was on there, I think I'm going to save that for the background. And then I'm going to use kind of for the elephants, for the castles in here, I think I'm going to try to use some yellowish tans, I think. I had originally picked out a couple of alcohol markers to try on that, but that's not going to work. So I'm going to try to find some in probably my Prismacolors, or I might grab another brand of pencil if I, for sure the background's going to be with my Prismacolors because I know how to use those really well, but I might try a different brand of pencils on the castle part. So let me show you what my plan is. let's go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and do these greens. So I've got Viridian and Alpine, and the Viridian color is, it's a really bright green, but I think that once I put this Alpine on it, it'll kind of turn into that turquoise color that I wanted. Oh, and I forgot a little bit of a line. You'll find a lot of those as you start to color. So I'm using this pigment liner 0.5 or 0.05. I'm just going to come in and draw in those lines. Okay, so I'm going to start with the Viridian, I think. And this is going to be super bright and vibrant. And I'm going to need to find, I think, another color to tone this down a little bit. Yeah, let me see if I can find another color to use with these. Okay, I'm going to try to combine these with this iceberg color from the Monarch set from Black Widow. Okay, so I started with my Viridian. Now I'm going to add in a little bit of this Alpine right over top of that, I think. Oh yeah, that's a pretty color. Super pretty. And again with the Viridian, just to extend that, I'm coloring lightly with the Viridian instead of as dark as I was. And then I'm going to use the iceberg in where the highlight of that is. Okay, I think I like that. I think that's going to be good. I'm going to use this Alpine color just by itself on some of these individual stems. Maybe some of these little ones. Yeah, so like these random ones that are in here. I'm just gonna use this Alpine color on its own. Yeah, and then so let's try, I'm going to continue with this Viridian color. So I'm going to color up this way, and then I'm going to start from the stem where the stem meets the flower. And then I am going to continue this onto this part, so like it's just budding. Okay, I'm going to use this Alpine color again. Just kind of want to give you an idea of what I'm thinking for the rest of the page, and then I will get all that done while you guys are, well, I'm not on camera, I guess. Okay. Yeah, I think I like that. Let me grab my brush really quick to get some of this dust out of here. Yeah, I think that'll work. Okay, well that's good news for that. Let me finish this little vine that's continuing up this way. And then this guy right here. Oop. So I started with the Viridian. I'm using the Alpine now. I'm going to just take this Alpine into this leaf here. And then use this iceberg. Kind of blend those together. I really like this iceberg color from the Monarch set. It's just such a unique color. Okay, I think that that's going to work for my vines and some of my leaves. I might do a few leaves with a little bit of a yellow in there probably. So for these big flowers, these ones that have like the straight edges and the ones that are in the corners, I am going to do an orange color palette, and I'm not sure exactly what I'm going for yet, but we're just gonna play real quick. So I'm gonna start by putting a light layer of this candy color on all the leaves. This is going to be a really unique, I just said unique. Use that word too much, then it's no longer unique. This is going to be a really different kind of color palette for me. I don't usually use oranges to start with. Ooh, I like this sherbet color. Mixed in with that candy, that looks really nice. I was going to add in the carrot to make it even more orange, but I think I like it like that. Anyway, I don't typically use orange tones in my pages. I don't know why. I think it's really pretty. But if you look at every pencil set that I have, the oranges are always the ones that get the least amount of love. And a while ago, I did decide that I was going to go through and I was going to use a whole bunch of oranges on one of my pictures. I think it was in Magical Jungle by Johanna Basford. And I never got around to it. So I'm going to come back in with the candy again and kind of blend that. Ooh, I like that. That looks nice. Yeah, so I think that will be the color of the these square-edged flowers. I really do like that. And then I'm going to come in, I think, with we're going to test this out here again. I'm using this golden yellow, this old Prang, and you can find a similar color, I think, in a Prismacolor or probably even in some of the other Crayola ones. And I'm going to do a layer of that, and then I'm going to come in with my unmellow yellow and blend in from there. Yeah, I like that. That looks nice too. And then I think I'm going to use a brown color. Let me see what browns I have here. I have a little basket full of all my baby Prismas that I have to use. You can kind of see they're all tiny little baby pencils. So I have to use pencil extenders to sometimes to use that. I don't want the dark brown. I want I think, well, that's what it is. 1082. I'm not sure what it is. It might be chocolate. And this one's definitely a baby, so I'm going to use my pencil extender on this. Let me just get this in here. Okay. And then down here in this flower, I'm just going to add a little bit of this. Nope, I don't like it. I did want this dark brown. So this is PC 947. That's better. The other one was too warm, I think. This one is still warm, but it's not as. And I think I am going to go back around with this Harvest Gold from Crayola and just darken this edge up a little bit more. Okay, so that's going to be those kind of flowers are all going to be like that. These little guys here and these little guys, I think those are the only types of flowers that I really have. Oh, no, and then this big guy here. So my little guys, maybe I will do those in just bright orange, I think. Or maybe I should do, yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So these little guys here are going to have, again, we're going to go with a yellow center. So that's that golden yellow color. And then I'm just going to do straight orange. So this is Carrot from the Skin Light set. And I do have like a brownie orange that I pulled, but I don't feel like I'm gonna need that on there. Okay, and then these little guys, let's do those guys with, think I'm gonna do those in a, like a bright yellow. So I'm gonna use my golden yellow. I'm trying to stick to just a few colors for the flowers. Spread that out with that unmellow yellow as best I can. I think that'll be good there. And then this one here is going to be another yellow tone, but it's going to be more browny yellow. So I'm going to start by going in with the Harvest Gold, and anywhere where there is a detailed little line in here, I'm going to color over that and try to make it look like it's a shadow. So we've got this line that overlaps here, and a couple lines coming down, and this is, I forgot a little tiny line again there from when I whited out that wand. So I'm going to just connect that right there. Okay, let's keep going with this Harvest Gold color. Oh, I don't know what that is. There's just a line here. Huh. Well, that is what it is now. Okay. Keep going with this Harvest Gold. I really do like this Harvest Gold color. It just reminds me of fall, and it's fun. And okay, and then I'm gonna very lightly come off of those lines with my golden yellow. Okay, and then I'm going to use the unmellow yellow to kind of blend those all out and together best that I can. Crayolas actually work really well in this book. I'm a little surprised, although I shouldn't be. Crayolas are a good pencil. Okay, I do like that. And then I am going to come back with, I think I'm going to use, so I have this other little Prismacolor pencil. It is a, I think this is light umber, so it's PC941. So I'm going to combine these two little baby pencils. I'm going to put this light umber in the center, and then I'm going to color around the outside of it with this darker color. And I think I will come in, I have this rattlesnake color pulled from the Cobra set, so I'm going to color right in the center of that there. And that kind of just gives it a little bit of a different tone in the center there. And then again, darken this up around the outside edge. All right, I think I like that. I do need to add a little bit of yellow to this part right here. And then a little bit of mellow yellow. And I might come in again with this light umber and just give it a little bit more, just a little bit more shadows around the, where it would be the darkest color. So right around the center of the flower, coming out from that, and then anywhere where there's a little bit of a shadow, I'm going to add that light umber color, and then I'm going to go back over it with this Harvest Gold. So it just doesn't look like brown, but it looks like a nice deep golden color. I might do a little bit under these leaves and the stem as well. So let's get a little bit more in there. Okay, so that is my game plan. I'm going to get all of the flowers colored on the entire border. And so I've got this light orange color, I've got this bright dark orange, little tiny yellow ones, and then a golden flower. And then this beautiful green vine that's going to be all around Let me zoom you out so you can kind of see how that's going to look. Okay, so you can kind of see how that's going to be. We've got those colors that we just did right here, and it's going to go all the way around. And then this grass in here I might do as well. I might add in a little bit of a lighter green, maybe a little bit of yellow into these vines a little bit too. So yeah, so I will get that done, and then the next video we will work on the background and the castle, and then we'll be done. So I hope you enjoyed this color along today, and I hope that you enjoyed watching me color everything in. And yeah, until next time, I'll see you later. Bye.